is it's one of the elements of art and design, right? One of the 7 elements. So color is basically a language of art and design, right? So it being grounded in psychology, it it is the most powerful form of visualization. So what that means is that colors have a profound impact on your mind and behavior, right? So just like you, a lot of you may be using meditation and exercising, or maybe music and food, maybe for de-stressing yourself. Colors is another way that you can use to your benefit to de-stress yourself, or to make yourself feel better, right? Or to actually control what you're feeling. So color symbolism is basically what colors are communicating to you, right? So yes, actually colors do communicate to you. So when you look at a color, no matter what color it may be, um, you will feel a certain emotion, right? Every color and every shade of every color has a certain emotion or a meaning attached to it, which will evoke emotions and feelings and thoughts or emotional reactions within you, right? So today we're gonna talk about the different colors. Now there's so many colors, right? There's so many colors, and obviously we can't go into all the colors, right, that are available. So we're just going to touch on the very basics, and there's something I want you to do. So the reason I am going to be talking about color symbolism is so that you understand these meanings and you can actually use them yourself, right, to your benefit. So yes, we will be taking questions, and I'll tell you a little bit about the structure. So we'll talk about the color wheel, the certain colors that we're going to talk on today, and then we'll take questions, and then we'll talk on how colors affect our sensory perceptions, right? So I'm just going to share my presentation with you here. Okay. Okay. Cool. So here, so we're going to talk about the importance of colors in life, right? So we'll start with the very basic, which is the color wheel. Okay. So I'm sure all of you would have seen this sometime, whether it's in school or maybe in college or maybe somewhere on the net, anywhere. This is the color wheel, right? It's got 3 basic parts to it. So we've got the primary, which are these 3 colors, the red, blue, and yellow. These are primary colors. Then we have secondary, which we get from mixing adjacent primary colors. So when you mix red and yellow, you get orange. When you mix blue and yellow, you get green. When you mix red and blue, you get purple, right? So these are secondary colors. And then when you mix your primary and your secondary, adjacent primary and secondary colors, you get the tertiary colors, right? So this total, these primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, they together make up the color wheel. Okay. Now, you must be thinking why I'm talking about such basics. So color wheel, the color wheel in itself, it actually has a bit of color psychology symbolism in it. So you must have heard of warm and cool colors, right? Why do we think of certain colors as being warm colors and other colors as being cool colors? It's because when you look for these colors in nature, when you associate these colors in nature, they will actually give you a certain temperature, right? So when we think of fire, when we think of the sun, when we think of hot, we think of oranges, yellows, and reds, right? So those are all warm colors, hot colors. When we think of the ocean, or we think of the nice blue sky, or we think of nature such as trees and plants and grass, so that gives you a very fresh, a cool feeling, so when you go to the beach, let's say, so you've got the ocean there, you've got nice trees around you, you've got the nice blue sky above you. It's a very cool feeling, right? You can feel the breeze there, the cool breeze there. So that's where warm and cool, this basic color symbolism starts in the color wheel itself, right? So, and let's talk about the basics of the statistics. So yes, colors actually, they actually are used by marketing psychologists, okay, to make you buy certain things, or make you more attracted to certain products. So as you can see here, okay, it takes 90 seconds for a person to judge a product, okay, or to take in the visuals. And 90% of the visuals, of the information that is sent to your brain is through your eyes, through your visuals, okay. And of course, a minimum of 60% of the reactions of your decisions are based on the color of the product, or the color of the image, or anything that you see, right? So that is exactly how important color actually plays a role. We don't realize it. Color is around us at all times, whether we are out in nature, whether we are at home or anywhere. Every single thing, natural or man-made, it has a color, but we don't pay attention to it. But the fact is that they are making you feel certain things. So today's session is all about telling you, making you aware of how colors can actually make you feel certain things, and so that you take control of that thing. So you choose what colors you want around you, what colors you don't want around you, what you want to feel, and how to use color to start feeling that, right? So before we start on the first color, I'll just tell you a few factors, okay, that we need to keep in mind. So all the colors that we're going to talk about, all the meanings I'm going to tell you about the different colors, they might vary for different people, okay. So these are a couple of reasons why, right? So color symbolism, it stems from religious, spiritual, and historical events, okay. So therefore culture is very important, right? So for example, the color white, it can in some cultures it can mean innocence, peace, while in other cultures it can mean death. So you know that it's is that varying. So you need to be sure of what cultural background you are from, or let's say if you are making products, and if you are in marketing or branding, or you're a designer, you need to be aware of your target audience, and know their cultural background, know where they come from. So whatever color combinations or whatever colors you are using, you would know exactly how it would be affecting them, right? It could be very different from your own personal feelings. So apart from cultural, which is more of a group thing, right? And it's pretty easy to understand that once you get into the whole research of it. Now, personal experiences, that is a little more tricky. So, for example, let's say just hypothetically, if one of you or if any of you have had bad experience with a color in the past, okay, maybe a traumatic experience, a sad one, or anything negative, in the future, it's quite likely to for you to feel that kind of negativity again when you are surrounded or when you're faced with that color, okay. You may or may not understand it, and that's fine, but I'm just telling you that this thing does exist. If there's a traumatic experience connected to a color, it could surface later. It could be the happiest color for everybody else around you, but for you it could be a sad color. So that's why everything that we're going to talk about today, all the meanings of all the colors, they're only guidelines. They're not rules. They're not at all rules. They're only guidelines. So take in what you feel could be, for you, what resonates with you. If it doesn't, that's fine. So today, that's exactly why. Take the information to the point where you can develop your own language, your own relationship with colors, so that you can benefit from it personally, right? So be sure of the different points that we're going to talk about, the colors and positives and the negatives, and actually see how you feel. Focus on yourself today. Be more aware of your feelings and how you are reacting to every color, right? Okay, so here, okay, we have our first color. Blue, as we talked about right now, blue is a cool color. Yes. So blue makes you feel calm. It makes you feel, sorry. tranquil. It makes you feel patient. It actually physically it cools your body down, right? So remember, associating it with nature, right? So that's how your body actually starts feeling cool when you're surrounded with a certain amount of blue. And of course, in if you would have noticed in offices, right, the color blue is often seen in the interiors of offices. That's because the color blue actually sparks productivity in you, and also it will make you look and seem more trustworthy if, let's say, you are wearing blue, for example, for an interview, maybe, so that's a choice you can make if it is connecting with you. And of course, now these are the positives. Now, if you have too much of blue around you, right, it can sometimes make you feel a little gloomy. And that's why we've heard of the Monday blues or feeling blue. Because yes, the color blue, while it can make you feel really calm and patient, and it can have a very soothing effect on you, it can also have a negative effect on you. So that's why it's important to use this color very wisely and know what you need, how much you need for yourself. So here's another primary color, the color red. Now this is a warm color, right? And this is quite different from blue. So this color can have pretty different meanings. On one hand, it can make you feel really angry, and it can give you a sense of danger, right? And on the other hand, it can actually talk about love and passion. So let's, when we're talking about anger and danger, when we're even in emoticons, the really angry face is a red face, and we have phrases like seeing red. So, and of course, the traffic light, the red means stop, so it's danger, right? And on the other hand, we have Valentine's Day, we have red hearts. So that's all love and passion. So this color has very opposite meanings. So, and being such a bright and intense color, it will evoke very strong emotions in you. Whatever you're feeling, whether you're feeling the anger or danger, or you're feeling the love and the passion, whatever you're feeling, it will evoke really strong feelings in you. And it's such a bright color, so it's very eye-catching. Okay, so you must have noticed that for sales, okay, all the sale posters, they have a huge element of red in it. Okay, whether the whole poster is red, or a big element of the poster is red, right? That's because the color red, you're immediately attracted to it immediately, and you will notice it. You can't not notice red. So that is why marketing psychologists, they use red when they're trying to gain your attention for sales, or for any offers they may have. Okay, and this is a very good color for pick me up in the mornings. Okay, so surround yourself a little bit in the mornings with red if you are feeling sleepy maybe. And of course, the color red, because it evokes such strong emotions, it can also evoke a certain sense of urgency in you, which may or may not be needed. So, for example, if it is not needed, okay, and you are feeling that sense of urgency, it could sometimes, maybe if you get overwhelmed with it, it could make you feel a little panic or stress. So another color that really needs to be used very wisely. So use it, but know how much you need it, right? Okay, so here's our third primary color. Like red, this is also a warm color, right? So, and like red, it is also a very attention seeking color. They say that yellow is actually the first color you notice in a field of colors. Yellow is the first one you'll notice. It's because of its intensity. It is so intense, it is so bright, and being such a bright and intense color, it will evoke strong emotions in you. So they say color, the color can actually release the happy chemical in you, right? serotonin. So you will end up feeling cheerful and happy when you're surrounded with this color. And of course, a lot of energy. You'll end up feeling a lot of energy, right? And of course, if there's too much of it around you, if there's an excess of it around you, it can cause a little frustration sometimes. And so, yet another color because of its intensity, yet another color to be used wisely. Now, white is a neutral color, meaning it does not give off any temperature feelings, right? So it doesn't make you feel cool, it doesn't make you feel warm. So it's a neutral color, right? And white is a color that is really good for combinations because it's a neutral. All neutral colors are very good when you are wanting to make combinations, right? We'll just talk about that in a minute. So white is, like I said, in different cultures, it can mean different things. So usually we think of white as peace and purity, simplicity, innocence, right? And of course now white is being used a lot because it's got that minimalism feeling to it, right? And it's got that clear feeling to it. So it's a really good color to use in different combinations that you may be using for whatever purposes. So talking about combinations, now this is where I want you to use your chat box, okay? So these are two images here, okay? Image left is the first image, right is the second image. So these two words, these two sets of words, hot and loud and bright and clean, okay? These are two sets of words. Now, how would you personally associate these set of words with these images? Is image 1 hot and loud and image 2 bright and clean? Or is image 1 bright and clean and image 2 hot and loud? Now remember that there is no right or wrong. Remember we talked about influential factors, right? So there's no right or wrong. These are only guidelines. Just look in you how you're feeling and type in your answer in the chat box. Okay, okay. Image 1 is okay. Okay, cool. So while you're typing in your answers, I'll tell you about combinations. Okay. So like just we talked about, Hannah, we talked about neutral, white color being a neutral, right? So in these two images, yellow is the common color. Yes. In image 1, yellow has been combined with red, and in image 2, yellow has been combined with white, right? So yellow has a set meaning, more or less, right? Now, why is it that it's giving two different meanings? One, of course, its intensity has been, and the the saturation has been changed, of course, but the colors have the colors that are used in combination with it actually make a huge difference. So combinations will actually help you to enhance certain meanings of certain colors and also subdue certain meanings of certain colors. That's why color combinations are so important. That's why it's important to know the meanings and the feelings that all different colors give out, right? So you know how to make the correct combination for yourself. Okay, so yes, most of you have. Okay, so most of you have said that image 1, image on the left, is hot and loud, and image 2, image on the right, is bright and clean. Yeah, that is what usually people feel. Now, like I said, if you didn't give this answer, that's okay, that's perfectly fine, because there's no right and wrong in this, right? Okay, so let's talk about green then. Okay, so green is the color that is heavily associated with nature. When we think of green, we think of plants, we think of trees, we think of grass, we think of freshness, we think of growth when we think of plants, right? And fruitfulness, of course. So green is the color that we have all seen in, I mean, all our life. Everyone has seen green, obviously, in nature. Okay. So this is the color that is the easiest on your eyes. Literally, it is the easiest on your eyes. So when we look at different colors, our eye muscles are used in different ways. Okay, so a natural green will, it won't, your eye muscles will not be strained at all. And they actually say that if you look at this color and the right shade, of course, of it, you can actually better your eyesight, you know, and it actually does work. So because in nature we're so used to seeing this color for generations, and so we've evolved that way, you know. And on the contrary, colors like blue and red, they're pretty harsh on our eyes. So try that experiment sometime. Okay, look at these three different colors and see how your eyes are feeling at the end of it. Okay, so, and yes, green is of course associated with health and good luck in some cultures, and with it's a very calming color, because usually when we think of nature, we, most of us feel very calm, right? We get a very soothing feeling. So green is heavily associated with that. So surround yourself with green if you're wanting to feel calm. And another very relaxing color is pink. Now, pink is heavily associated with softness and kindness and femininity, right? So, and of course, romance. Yes, red is associated with that as well, but so is pink. And it's a color that will really evoke very kind feelings in you, a lot of feelings of compassion in you, and also playful feelings. And of course, now there are lots of different shades of pink, right? Um, Now, lighter pinks will make you feel more calm and soft, whereas a dark, hot pink, which is much closer to a red, can evoke certain aggravating feelings or more energy-related feelings in you. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Every different shade of every different color can mean something very different. And orange. Now, orange is another warm color, right? Like yellow and red, orange is a color that is used for grabbing people's attention, right? It's, and also orange. So when you see caution signs, okay, there, a lot of them are in orange. Why? Because they will actually grab your attention when you're looking here and there everywhere, and you are maybe driving your car and there's a caution sign. It will be in one of the three colors, because these are that will immediately grab your attention immediately. Okay, so orange, of course, is also connected with creativity and excitement and parties, right? So it's a color that will evoke strong emotions in you. In Actually, a lot of people have an aversion to orange, and a lot of people actually fall in love with it. So it's got that quality where you'll either love it or you'll hate it, but either ways you'll feel a very strong feeling towards it, a very, very strong feeling towards it, right? Okay, so now let's talk about purple. So as we talked about purple in the color wheel, right? We saw that purple is a mixture of red and blue. Yes? Okay. So so now if you have a shade of purple that has more red in it, okay? So that shade of purple can evoke more energy in you, more creativity in you. Whereas on the contrary, if there's a shade of purple that has more blue in it than red, that can cause more calming feelings towards you. Now, the history of purple is quite different. Okay, so purple in ancient times was not easily available naturally. Okay, so only the royalty, only the kings and the queens and the very rich people, they could afford it. So it was quite expensive to acquire purple. So that is why purple is associated with wealth, with royalty, with luxury. Okay, so this is when maybe even if you see in movies, okay, maybe if you a psychic. They'll always have something purple around them, either purple or black. Okay, because these two colors are heavily associated with mystery, okay, and imagination. So these are the two colors that you'll see when you're watching those kind of movies. So black, like purple, is associated with luxury, of course. So we think about formal, okay, like formal attire, and we think of black tie. So yes, the color black is actually a very elegant and a formal color. You think of it as being a very sophisticated color. So that's why we think of little black dress or a black tuxedo, right? And of course, black black is a color that has slimming qualities in it. Okay, so if you're wearing black or you're wearing a dark color, it'll actually make you look slim as compared to if you're wearing a lighter color. Okay, maybe a white or a light blue or a light yellow or any light color.